Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you the end of the year book tag. This is my first time doing this tag, so let's get on with it. So the first question is there any books you've started this year that you need to finish? And the answer is yes. I have quite a few. So first of all, I have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. This is book 2 in the Crescent City. I don't know if it's gonna be a trilogy or a series. I don't know, but I was reading this book. I got, I think, like 30% in. And I don't know. I don't even know what to think about this book. I'm not the biggest fan of Bryce. And that's about it. And it's just so weird because it's the first time that I read a Sarah J Maas book that I really don't like the main male character, the love interest. Hunt is so boring. Actually, the first time I read House of Earth and Blood, I called him Cassian for like half of the book until Lehaba called him Ati. And that actually made me realize that his name was Athalar. And that kind of worked, but I was like, what is his name? So yeah, I don't know. It's very disappointing because I love Sarah J Maas and I really don't know what to do with this book. I have heard that the ending of this book, like the last 5 pages or something like that, are amazing. And that's just like the only thing that have hooked other people into reading the next one. I think I'm gonna listen to the other book like 3 times speed or something like that, because sometimes, mostly when it's Hunt's point of view, I'm like, that's just so boring. And I do remember that at some point he's like, oh yeah, Bryce, she looks so beautiful in this dress and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Because Sarah mentioned that she was very anxious about like, finally they're getting together in this book, and I was like, I don't want to read that. For the first time, I'm like the main couple. There's no other couples. I just don't like them. So yeah. And the other thing is like, I really like Rune. So it will be amazing if he could be the main character, because I don't know, his life is way more interesting than Bryce. I did forget to mention that I actually really liked, I don't know if it was the first chapter, Sophie's point of view. That was very interesting. I was super hooked and I wanted to know more about her, but until the point that I was in the book, we never saw her again. So I actually don't know what happened to her. And that mystery was kind of the only thing that was driving me to keep reading the book. Also, there is a surprise like engagement. I really like that. I thought that could be way more interesting. I was like, sure, Bryce, leave this guy and let's just go with the one that seems way more interesting. Sure, he's probably bad news, but I don't know. It seems exciting, which was something that I wasn't having. So yeah, that's the end of this intermission. And even Tharion, I knew we were going to have Tharion's point of view in this, and I was like, I don't care. And I remember that his chapters were way more interesting. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna, at some point, I'm gonna keep going. I don't like to, okay, I don't care about DNF in books. My on hold list is huge. And you'll see, it's not every single book is from this year, but it just keep growing and growing. Then that kind of makes me anxious. So yeah. The next book is Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater. I honestly think that this was my fault. I was very excited about this book. I don't know, it's just not exactly what I thought it was going to be, or maybe I expected. I don't want to say too much, but maybe different things from this book. My bookmark is still here. I don't think I was enjoying it too much, but maybe it was because I was expecting something else. One thing I do want to point out is at some point she gets to meet these gods and she has to prove to one of them that humanity is worth saving. And I thought that they were going to be like very close in the journey so he can see. But for what I remember, he's barely there. I don't know. I didn't like that. Yeah, I feel like I need to lower the bar and then just come back to the book because I do want to finish it. The next book I do need to finish is Obsidio by Mick Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I started to read this book. I have it tabbed. My bookmark is still here again, maybe 30-40%. And I just dropped it. And I don't know why, because, well, I can't know why. I was enjoying it. Final battle is coming and I'm not ready. I can say I'm scared of what's gonna happen. So that's why I haven't finished it. The next book is The Flight Girls. I got recommended this book and I think it was through Goodreads. I was looking for a good romance and this just one got recommended. And I started the book, but it's a World War II book and I just can't. I do have to say that the romance was very cute. I was enjoying that part, but I know that things get bad at some point and I don't know if I can do that. So yeah, that's why I haven't finished the book. The next one is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I don't know if DNF this book all at once. I have read her other 2 books. I knew this wasn't a romance. I was still very interested. I always think that this book is, it reminds me of Prince of Persia, where he lives with this demon. That's what I always relate that book to that. Even before I started to read it. I don't think I was too far off. I do like her writing, but I wasn't very hooked. I don't know what to expect of the book. And I think that is what has just put me off a little bit because I know she's with this entity, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have any expectation. I don't even understand what we have to accomplish with this. So I think that is what hasn't really hooked me. The next book is Prince of Song and Sea. I think I have mentioned a couple of times before that I was very excited about this book. Prince Eric was one of my crushes when I was a child. And I actually think that I'm just waiting for something to happen to ruin the story for me. And that's not fun. So yeah. The next book is Filthy Rich Vampire. So I started reading this book and I did like the chapters from the male main character. But then we jumped to the woman. I don't know, her chapters were very boring. So that's why I haven't kept going. The next book is Realm of Lore and Lies. I have mentioned that I was reading this book. I got an arc of it. I'm very conflicted with this book. The cover for me screams fantasy. When the book starts, it's completely contemporary. She's in, I think it's a town in Ireland. And she goes to college and, she has work and she's like a tourist guide. It's a completely normal life. Yeah, there are some entities that she kind of fights them off when the murder happens and she finds her mom. Honestly, it's the only moment that I feel like, oh my God, there is this big magic going on and we don't really know. And that hooked me. It was kind of scary, but that hooked me. And then we get the other point of view. I think I'm having problems with points of view because we get the guy's point of view. But again, the cover screams fantasy and he's a hacker. Not like a magic situation hacker, computer hacker. The whole thing is like he has hacked her, not because he wanted to, but because asked him. And so they could always know where she was, I guess. He have hacked her, like all of her accounts, everything that it was hers, and even her journal, like her private journal. That's just not a great start for me. I honestly thought that this was full fantasy, and right now I have weird stuff going on, like contemporary stuff going on, and I'm like, maybe this is just magical realism. There is another book that I might give it a shot and then decide what's gonna happen. And the last book I have in this list is Finlay Donovan is killing it. I'm actually enjoying a lot of this book. The only reason that I have not finished this book is because I started a lot of books at once, and now I'm gonna read this and hopefully finish it, and then I'm gonna finish this other one and this other one and this other. And this book is just I don't think that's gonna be an issue. The second question in the tag is, do you have a book or a thumbnail book? Oh my god, that was harsh. To transition into the end of the year, I don't really do like seasonal books. There were 2 books that I felt like, oh, I can make this month, October, a little bit more witchy, more Halloweeny going on. And I haven't read them. So the first one is The Very Secret Society for Irregular Witches. And I've heard that this book is very cozy, very cute. And honestly, that's just what I want. At the same time, I have Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff, which probably not the coziest thing, probably not the most cute stuff, but I feel like I can cope with a little bit of scary monster. I do feel like I miss vampires. So yeah, those will be my answer. The next question is there a new release you're still waiting for? And yes, I am waiting for one last release this year, and that is Stellar Lune by Shannon Messenger. That is book 9 in the Keeper of the Lost City series. I feel like something big is coming. I don't want to get my hopes too high because the good guys in the series, they lose a lot. So it's time for them to start winning some battles. And I hope that will happen in these books because I don't know what else I'm going to do if they don't. The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? The first one is The Dragon Promise. I got this book during Bookathon. That was like the only book that I didn't read. I wanted to read it before the end of the year. I want to accomplish that. Then the other 2 are from my physical TBR because I want to keep moving my books because if not, they're never going to leave my TBR shelf. The second book is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I've heard amazing things about this book. That's why I bought this book and I just haven't read it. And the third book is Stranger Dreamer. I have lost count on how many TBRs I have put this book. And the thing is that it's just a very intimidating read. I know a lot of people love it. I guess I'm a little bit scared that it won't live up to the hype. The next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And honestly, I don't think so. And the next question is, have you started making plans for 2023? Well, I was going to say no, but I think I have. So I did want to read the whole Keeper of the Lost City series before the 9th book came out, and that didn't happen. But I do want to make that reread. I don't think that's going to happen this year. So that probably will be a project for next year. I do want to finish the Throne of Glass series as well. It's not like I'm in book 1 and I have a long way to go, but for some reason this is taking me forever. Yeah, that's something I want to do. It will be awesome if I have the guts to finish Empire of Storms. But yeah, I do want to finish that. And also, I do have an idea that in the best case scenario, I would start that before the end of this year. And it's that I want to reread some of my favorite books. Like, of course, not the favorite book that I got last month, but like my first favorite books since like from my early years or something like that. And see what I think of them now. So that would be like a series of videos. And I'm actually very excited about that. If I can do that at this moment, I'll probably start that next year. Those were all the questions. Let me know if you have started to making reading plans for next year. Honestly, it feels like it's forever away. So I don't know why. But yeah, that was all for today's video. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.